fitness and nutrition changed my life, and I firmly believe it can change everyone else's.
Hey, it's Shana. Welcome to Controlled Chaos, the podcast where we dive into the world of recovery, sharing stories of experience, strength, and hope from those who have been there and made it through. No matter where you are in your battle with addiction, alcoholism, or mental health struggles, know that there is a way out. Throughout my sobriety journey, I have often felt alone and doubted my ability to even stay sober. Starting this podcast in my room just 2 months ago, I had a dream of reaching people just like me, those who felt hopeless. As a woman in recovery, I began with 0 followers, but with a dream of offering hope to even just one person. The mission of this podcast is to connect, inspire, and provide hope to those feeling lost or struggling with addiction. Remember, the opposite of addiction and isolation is sobriety and connection. Let's come together through the Controlled Chaos podcast and support each other on the journey to healing and growth. Hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and let's build a community of support and understanding. Love you mucho. Welcome to Controlled Chaos. I'm so excited to have you. I'm your host, Shana. This is Alec. You want to explain, I guess, just a little bit about yourself and kind of what you've been up to, sobriety, all that jazz?
Yeah, of course. Yes. So my name is Alec. I am 29 years old. I currently live on the eastern shore of Maryland. It's where I grew up all of my life. And just like all of us, my relationship with booze happened when I was underage. Particularly when I was in college, I definitely developed a binge drinking habit, and I battled that for a solid 10 years. And then during those 10 years, I had many stints of sobriety and never really understood it completely. And then about a year and a half ago, I got my first DUI, and to me, that was my turning point. That was my rock bottom. And ever since then, it's been a blessing. It's been such a great ride. So I appreciate everything sobriety's taught me.
I love that. So I feel like, and you kind of said it too, having a DUI kind of turned your life around or kind of made you make changes. For a lot of us, it takes a lot more than that. Are you just a quick learner? Did you feel like that was just it for you? Like, what about that was so life-changing to you?
I think the biggest thing was that is like people were going to find out. My family was going to find out. My brother was the one who picked me up. So it's like I didn't have to hide anything anymore. Like to me, that was the perfect segue to go get help. I was always trying to hide it, always trying to tell people it wasn't as bad as it seemed. And to be honest with you, you don't hide it as good as you think. So everybody knew around me. I think they were just too afraid to say something just out of my reaction. But again, during those 10 years, I had many stints of sobriety, but it was always something that I did by myself, and I always white knuckled it. And I had an 8-month run that ended up in a relapse. I had a 2-year run that ended up in a relapse. So it wasn't a surprise when something like this happened. And looking back on it, I say the DUI is the only consequence that I faced, and that's not true. I mean, I was getting into fights at bars, and I could never hold down a relationship, and I was treating people shittily. Like there was consequences along the way. My DUI was just it was the first time I was in serious trouble over that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, to be honest, driving under the influence was something I was doing multiple times a week. So it was bound to happen. And, the scary thing for me is just the thought of killing someone or, killing someone's kid. Like that's what makes me want to throw up. And that's when it was like, I really got to get my stuff together, because I would have done it again if that didn't happen to me. And I'm thankful I only got a DUI. I mean, God only knows what that outcome would have done if I did it again. So it was really time for me to make a change.
Yeah, I think that's definitely understandable. So you said, you kind of talked about how you started drinking super early, and I think that's the case for so many of us, and even people who don't identify as like problem drinkers, right? I think that alcohol is so widely glamorized now and made to look so fun, and everybody's having such a great time and out there looking so cute, which you never look cute by the end of the night, right? You always look like a mess, but it's really made out to be such a fun, exciting thing that we all start so early. So how did you start? Like, what did your alcohol use look like at the beginning?
So college definitely where it kicked off, and I had a group of friends where they were big partiers, and it seemed like we always had a night for a type of alcohol, whether it was Margarita Monday to Tequila Tuesday, Wine Wednesday. Like it almost turned into a game. If the day ended in Y, we had a booze for it. And, I remember the first time catching a buzz and remember first time getting drunk, and it's like someone threw a light switch off on me. And somebody threw a warm security blanket over me. It was the best feeling that I ever felt, and I chased that for a solid 10 years. Looking back on it, I went through a pretty shitty relationship in high school, and I was young, and stuff came up it was pretty traumatizing, especially at a young age. And I think trying to dealing with something like that at a young age, like, you don't have the coping mechanisms, you don't have the ability to face something like that, and I think it changes your brain chemistry, and it changed how I handled things and how I faced things all up through my adult life up until now, and alcohol turned into that thing where it made me feel good about what was going on, whether it was good or bad. If I had something to celebrate, I was going out to the bar too. So it wasn't just necessarily something bad that was going on. It was just, it was my best friend to make me feel good, because sober outside world couldn't make me do that.
Yeah, I like that you explained it like a security blanket, right? Because I think that's how it was for me too. I used early on, and it was like, this is like my armor, right? All of a sudden I have that confidence. I can talk to people. I can do the things that I want to do, say the things that I want to say. And I don't really care if anybody's, what anybody has to say about it. And I think you kind of brought that up with like the fights and the things like that going on in your life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're guaranteed, the feeling that you're going to get when you drink. You're guaranteed to feel that way. So it's safe. You know what's going to happen. It's not going to let you down.
Yeah. So how did that affect like your relationships, like your family, your girlfriends, that type of thing?
Sure. I mean, as far as like romantic relationships, I definitely couldn't hold one down, because I was always the one who was getting pissed drunk when we went out, and either throwing up or, I turned into an absolute slop. And it got to the point where even not drunk, like even sober, I would still act like an idiot. And it's just, I could never make one last, and didn't care to either. As far as my family, I'm very lucky where I have two very supportive parents. I have an amazing brother, sister-in-law, and now I have a tiny niece and nephew, and now a super supportive girlfriend. And all of them they've seen, especially my parents, brother and sister-in-law, I mean, they've seen my ups and downs with alcohol, and they've seen me get into fights and stuff like that, and they never batted an eye. They always supported me, especially after my DUI. I mean, they knew I needed to make a change, and they were willing to do absolutely anything for me to make that happen. And, your family and your support system, they turn into also accountability. I mean, my nephew, he's 2. At the time when I was getting sober, he was 1, about to turn 2. And I mean, I remember the first year of his life's a little blurry because I was drinking. And when I started getting sober, it's like, holy crap, this kid's like a kid now. And, I remember getting sober, and some bad days, he would just run up and hug you like he was just happy to see you. So that kid plays a huge role in me being sober. And he doesn't know that. Like, he has no idea what's going on. So I always relate my sobriety to my nephew, because he played a huge role in it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think I was telling somebody the other day, even like the community that I've grown like on Instagram and TikTok, I'm always on now too. I don't know when that started, but before I didn't have that kind of like community with all these women who like supported you and cared about you and all that stuff. And it's like the love that you get from people, and I think that extends to like kids and everyone, right? Like it starts to really, I think, like take a place in your life, right? Where you like crave that, and you're like, what was I thinking, like numbing all this? What was I thinking, like not having any of this? Because I don't know about you, but during my drinking, I was super isolated.
Yeah, I was definitely isolated. I mean, it got to the point where I would go and try and hang out with my family, but I would go lay on the couch because I was hungover all day. Or I was trying to run upstairs because I was throwing up all day. So it's like, even if you tried to be involved, you really can't. And mentally, you're not in it. I mean, you're in such a brain fog that you can't even process what's going on. So I remember when my DUI happened, my parents and my brother told me this could be the best thing that ever happened to you. And I knew this was such a good opportunity to completely change my life. So I took advantage of that opportunity. And it was the first time where I actually allowed myself to go get help. I had a friend who was in AA. He took me to a meeting. I fell in love with that community. I mean, they helped me so much, and it was nice to walk into a room where everybody just understands, even if they're not going through exactly what you're going through,
Right.
they understand where you're at. And I went to AA consistently. I got a sponsor. I still meet with my sponsor regularly. I've worked 12 steps, and I involve myself in AA literature every day. Like, AA played a huge role in my recovery story.
Okay. Right. So I use 12 steps as a program also, and I know there's many people out there who enjoy AA. There's many people who don't enjoy
For
AA.
sure.
What is it for you about the program of AA that worked?
I mean, the 12 steps, I tell everybody the 12 steps I feel like everybody should do, even if you don't have a substance problem. I mean, it completely strips you down to who you are as a person, and it makes you address things that you probably would never address if it wasn't for that program. So regardless of using a substance or not, you can learn so much of who you are as a person, how you handle certain situations, and the 12 steps completely changed who I am today.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to somebody today and I actually said the amount of people that I hear say that they can't connect with AA or it doesn't really resonate with them. And I don't care what kind of programs people use. I'm like an advocate for whatever works for you and do that shit, right?
100%.
But it's so funny to me how when people get sober, we all are basically doing the same things, right? Mind, body, soul, wrapped in like a different name. Like literally the people who don't use AA are still doing some type of program and it looks very similar. It's just not named that. They still have a community, right? They're out there with their Facebook groups of women and that type of thing. That's your AA meeting. Like,
of course.
All the same thing wrapped in something else. And sometimes I find it funny how it can get so controversial when it's really so close.
100%. I mean, it's literally the same thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. So you started AA, you said a year and a half ago. You've been sober for about a year?
I've been sober about a year and a half, yeah.
Okay, so what are the things that you do daily that you feel help you to continue your sobriety?
I mean, right off the bat, fitness and nutrition is a massive part in my aftercare program. I wake up every morning at 4:05 and I'm at the gym by 4:45 at the absolute latest. I think it is extremely important for myself to wake up and you're faced with a challenge right away, and that's trying to roll out of your warm, comfortable bed and then go stress your body for 2 hours. Fitness has completely changed my life. I mean, when I was getting sober, I wanted to do something to keep myself busy, so I ended up getting my personal training certification, and I don't know where I would be without fitness and nutrition in my life. Like, I wake up and I crave going to the gym. And, you know, a lot of people get caught up in going to the gym just to change how you look, and yeah, that's a factor of it. That's going to happen naturally from going and from watching what you eat. Your appearance is going to change, but it teaches you so much from discipline, commitment. I mean, you got to commit to it if you want the benefits of going to the gym. Delayed gratification. I mean, you're working towards something right off the bat where you're not going to see results for a solid 2 months after you start. So you got to learn patience. Like, it just teaches you so much than just going in and looking good. And that's what I love about it. Plus, it's a healthy dopamine hit. I mean, as addicts, you're not getting a healthy dopamine hit, and we need something to replace that, especially once we remove the substance. And yeah, I mean, fitness has opened up so many doors for me now in recovery. I started an online coaching business where it's sober coaching, but it's specifically designed to utilize fitness, nutrition, and personal development. So, I mean, hands down, fitness and nutrition are the top 2 tiers when it comes to my aftercare program.
Okay, so you kind of talked about the dopamine hit that you get, and I think that that's one of the biggest things that was hard for me when I was trying to stop drinking alcohol, was I consistently had this feeling that alcohol stopped my anxiety. First of all, I was like an anxious panic attack mess 24/7. I always thought it stopped my anxiety and it made me feel good. But every time that I was drinking, I never felt good and I was always anxious. And
for sure.
So it never made any sense, right? But further on in my sobriety, I obviously learned that it gives you like a fake source of dopamine, and that's what we chase, right? Is that feeling that really it isn't real and it doesn't last.
Right.
So what has exercising and fitness and all of that, what has that done for your mental health?
I mean, it's completely changed changed my mental health. I mean, I was on every antidepressant, every bipolar medicine you could think of during the 10 years, especially when I was drinking. And I had a doctor at one point tell me that it doesn't work if you're drinking. Like, your liver is too busy processing the alcohol because our bodies recognize alcohol as poison, so it bypasses every substance that's in your body, including food and medicine. So it's not processing your antidepressant or whatever mood stabilizer you're in. So even though I was taking my medicine, it wasn't working due to my alcohol consumption.
Right.
Exercise is probably the best anti-anxiety antidepressant that anybody could do. I mean, the dopamine and the endorphin rush that you're getting, it just makes you feel good. Plus, you're naturally going to feel good about yourself because you're leaving that gym better than how you walked in. Like, you're guaranteed to leave a better person from when you walked in, and that's what I love about it. And, you know, you meet like-minded individuals that are in the gym doing the same thing, trying to chase the same goals and trying to live a healthy lifestyle. So that plays a huge part in just surrounding yourself with healthy people, because I never did that before. So I was always around people that were trying to push you to drink more, or I was the person pushing other people to drink more. Like, it wasn't a healthy environment. So the gym can provide mental benefits, social benefits. I mean, it's a win-win from including that into your life.
Yeah, and I think you had said something earlier about how a lot of times we think the gym or like eating healthy is all about how you look. And I had, during my alcoholism, I got all the way up to like 300 pounds, and literally just from drinking and being sedentary all of the time. And when I stopped drinking and started losing weight, it was like I felt so much different, like not even like physically, like how I look, but even like sleeping. I used to never be able to sleep all the way through the night. And when I started to lose weight, I could sleep. I was like not on blood pressure meds anymore. All this stuff started to happen physically that had nothing to do with like how I looked, which, I mean, let's be real. Nobody wants to be 300 pounds. It doesn't feel good, right?
For sure.
But like physically, I felt so different. I was out of breath, like just going up the stairs. And like at 30 something years old, that's like embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It feels bad.
Right.
And so I think that there are so many benefits to even just like getting healthier, right? Not even, you know, you go pretty hard in the gym. I'm not trying to do that, but just like even making healthy little changes and getting out there and like walking more, doing anything for your health is such a benefit to like your mental.
Oh, absolutely. And I like that you brought that up because, I mean, we live in a society where if you go to the gym every day and you watch what you eat, you're considered like excessive, or you're obsessive over that. And how can you categorize somebody as being excessive or being obsessive when they're just trying to take care of themselves? Like, it doesn't, to me, it didn't really make sense. And, you know, I was in the same situation. I mean, I lost close to 40 pounds after getting sober, and all I did was go drink. And then, of course, drinking, you're going to go eat shitty food at night, and you're too hungover to go work out all day. So yeah, you do live a sedentary lifestyle. And yeah, I enjoy working out 2 hours a day. Like, it's the best part of my day, but nobody needs to do that. And even if it's just going to walk for 20 minutes, like, everybody should move their body, and just going for a simple walk can do that. And I feel like naturally, if you start going to the gym or you start getting some sort of movement into your life, healthier behaviors, it's like a domino effect. Healthier behaviors start. You're going to naturally start watching what you eat. You're going to start sleeping better. You're going to start maybe not drinking coffee right away when you wake up. Like, naturally, I feel like it's a domino effect. And then all these healthy behaviors are going to start lining up just from starting by just moving your body. I think movement is the most important thing we can do as humans.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good fact about friendships and like who you meet, you know, in that circle at the gym, or even just when you're starting to take care of yourself. You're not like at the bar, right? You're at different places doing different things where people are interested in different things. And I had watched this, I don't know, something the other day, a podcast or something. And this girl was talking about how when she was trying to quit drinking, she had this friend that she would always hang out with. He was a guy. And every time she was trying to quit drinking, he would message her and he would be like, yep, I'm popping my beer. I bet you're jealous. And how after she got sober, she always thought, you know, like, that was my friend, but he really didn't want me to get healthy. He wanted me to like stay where he was at, right? And I think that that brings up like a good point about like when you start to have like different people interested in different things around you, how that starts to change what you're doing in your life even, and like propels you forward.
Yeah, 100%. And I had a bunch of friends when I was going out, and you call them friends, but it's amazing how many friends you have when you remove alcohol from your relationship.
Yeah.
Suddenly they all go away.
So a lot of people, or a lot of people that you hung out with while you were drinking, you're not still close with
Yeah,
now?
for sure. I mean, I had to. I mean, it was either that or, you had to change your environment. You have to change your surroundings. You have to change your behaviors. And unfortunately, that's changing who you're hanging out with. And if they're not on the same page with you or they're not trying to do the same thing, then you simply can't hang around. I tried to do it when I first got sober, and it's like, it's no fun. Like, I'm not going to go stand in the corner of a bar trying to drink water when everyone else is slamming tequila shots. Plus, if you hang around temptation so long, sooner or later it's going to get you. So it's just, it's just setting yourself up for failure. And that's what I did with my 2 prior runs of sobriety. I mean, I was still hanging around with my friends. I worked in the restaurant industry, so you're going to try and go out afterwards. And it always led to the same thing, and that was me drinking again. So I knew this time I completely just had to change everything.
Yeah. And I completely agree with that. And I don't think that, the people that we hung out with at that time or that type of thing, I don't think like people have bad intentions coming out the gate. I don't think they even realize that that's what they're doing, right? But I think that when you're in this like negative place, in this negative environment, and you're stuck there, you don't want to be stuck there alone.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
that friend to people too, like, please don't leave me. Like, please don't go do good things, because who's going to be here with me miserable, right?
Right. Yeah. And I don't think they were bad by any means, but I knew I just had to change my behaviors. And unfortunately, you just have to cut people off. And, if I saw them out in public, I would definitely say, hey, how are you? And that's pretty much it at this point. Like, no harm, no foul, but I just had to get on a different path.
Yeah. So what does your life look like today in sobriety? I know you've added fitness and you have a girlfriend now. Like,
For sure.
What's your daily, what do you do? What do sober people even do?
Right. So, I usually wake up, I go to the gym, I come home. We got a dog. So we got a dog about 2 months ago. It's my first dog, so it's so cool, like, how much joy a dog could bring to your life. Her name's Daisy. We adopted a 1-year-old pit bull. She's absolutely awesome.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
I know, she's great.
I have a 4-year-old pit bull, but my stepdaughter, we just got her a puppy. We went to the shelter to get an older dog because I was like, I'm not potty training. I'm not doing it.
Sure.
We left with a 3-month-old pit bull.
I saw this dog online. So it was very like spontaneous how we did it. We went on vacation in Savannah in January, and we were walking through the town, and all these people had dogs, and we were like, do you want to get a dog? So we started looking around while we were in Savannah online, and I came across Daisy online, and I fell in love with the pictures of this dog. And when we got back, we went to see her, and I swear to God, as soon as she ran out of the door, she came up and gave me a hug. And like since then, it was like, I'm taking you home. So she's been awesome. Yeah, no, she's a blessing. So yeah, I wake up, usually go to the gym, come home, I'll take her out, I'll cook breakfast. I'm a personal trainer. I work at a local gym, so just depending on my schedule, I'll have to go back for clients during the day. And then I usually come home and I'm making content for my platform and online business and client check-ins and everything that entails, and then cooking dinner. And
Are you sleeping by 8 p.m.?
I try to be asleep by 9:30 at the absolute latest. Like once 8:30 hits, I start turning into a zombie.
That's what everybody, so there's this whole thing, right? Obviously, you're on Instagram all the time too, right? And there's this whole thing of like, what do sober people even do? Isn't it so boring? And I'm always like, no, I'm always doing so much stuff. First of all, before I was doing nothing all of the time. I was always in my bed or I was drunk.
Right.
So if I was doing anything, I never remembered it, first of all. And second of all, I just was never feeling good enough to do anything. Like, I remember I brought my kids to Six Flags and in San Antonio. First of all, the park is like huge. Second of all, it's like 110 degrees. You think I did anything that entire day. I was trying to breathe,
Right.
and I was trying not to throw up. So like, there's nothing that I was doing fun when I was in, my alcoholism, or when I did do things, I was miserable,
Yeah.
right? Like I in Texas on South Padre Island for like 8 years, and I have never been to the ocean in a swimming suit. Like I literally made it there during work, and that was it. Like I never even went to the ocean, or like, brought my kids swimming at the beach. Like I wasn't living life when I was drinking. Were you?
No, not at all. I mean, the most activity that I would do during the day is like scroll through Instagram for 4 hours,
Right.
laying in bed, hung over, binge watching YouTube. Like, no, my life now is completely. It's honestly the complete opposite of what I was doing when I was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean, I'm
am.
waking up at 4 a.m. now. At times, I was going to bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah, very true. I do go to sleep so early now, like that's not even a joke. But I also wake up super early,
Right.
right? Like even without an alarm, I'm like, it's time to be
Right.
awake.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a super busy life, but it's the most peaceful life. Like, it's just nice to have a peace of mind. I never really understood the word serenity until I went to AA, and it teaches you the definition of it, and like you live it, and it's just nice to just close your eyes and you got peace in your mind for once.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think that's what a lot of people really don't understand is like, I think sometimes people mistake having no drama with boredom, right? Like, I think sometimes you're so used to having chaos like all around you. And that's actually where the name of my podcast came from, because I was a single mom ever since I was 16 years old, and I was an alcoholic starting right about then. So like my whole life was always just like, whoa, like a whirlwind, right? And I was always pretending like I was fine, like I was great, I got this, super strong, right? And when things got calm, I was like, I got nothing. Like I don't even, and now I can't even believe that I lived that way.
Right. Right. You look back on it, it's like, how did you even get out of it? I mean, it's almost scary looking back on it, but there's always a plan, and I'm happy we can live it.
Yeah. Do you think if you would have continued after your DUI, what do you think your life would look like today?
So I consider it my old life now. I was an artist. I made art since I was a kid, went to college for it, lived in California trying to chase, the quintessential making it as a star, like
Right.
making millions, be the biggest artist in the world. And I was in Maryland when I got my DUI, but I had plans to move back to LA, and I couldn't tell you what my life would have been like if I didn't get arrested and I did move back to LA. To be honest with you, I don't think I would be alive. Like, I would have drank myself to death because I was so lonely and bored out there, or I would have done something stupid. And like, it's just my DUI 110% saved my life.
Yeah.
Or before I went to California, I probably would have drove again drunk. And I mean, I came out of a blackout in handcuffs, so I was driving blacked out drunk. So I would have done it again, and God only knows what the outcome would have been. Like, you do it so many times, sooner or later the inevitable is going to happen.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, anything, right? If you, by the time you get caught, you've done it probably 100 times that you haven't got caught, right?
For sure.
And it was the same for me. And I've never gotten a DUI, but I can't even count the amount of times that I've drove under the influence. And like, I live in the Upper Peninsula where it's like a snowland 90% of the time, ice and all this stuff. And I'm like, how? How did I not hurt somebody? How did I not hurt myself? Like, nothing but God, right? That I got out of all of that okay and without hurting anybody else. And I like think back on that and I'm like, what? How
it's
right?
I had a routine where I would wake up the next morning and it's like, okay, I'm in my bed, I'm home, and it's like, let me go check my car to see if that's outside. Okay, I drove myself home, and then it's like, let's check the damage on it. Like, it's amazing that it took so long for me to get caught, and it's amazing that nothing happened during those years of me doing it.
Right.
And like you said, like, I firmly believe my higher power is God, and like, God saved my life that day. You know, and it was meant to be. I was meant to stay on the East Coast. I was meant to stay close to my family. If I left and went to California, I wouldn't have met my girlfriend, and she's without a doubt my soulmate. Like, we moved in, we got a dog, like, we're building a life together, and I hands down wouldn't have that if I didn't get caught that day.
So how long after you got sober did you and your girlfriend meet?
So I got sober in December of 2022. We met in August of 2023. Funny story with that. So I knew her from the place that I worked, and she's a hairdresser. I was working in a local restaurant. She actually cut my hair, ironically, 2 years ago, and like since then, I had a massive crush on her. But it was almost like I was sober at that time and then relapsed again. And during that period of me drinking, like, I don't really remember her, but she was consistently walking into the restaurant that I worked at. And then I got sober, and it was almost like she reappeared. And I crushed on that girl for so long, so hard. And then eventually that August, I told myself the next time she walks in, I need to ask her out. So I did, and the rest is history. So it's just amazing that we kind of were just like circling around each other for this long, and it was just meant to be.
Okay, so the first year of your sobriety, did you get a plant?
I did get plants, actually.
I killed 2 plants. I got a husband. He's still alive. I got a dog. He's good.
I had 3, and they 110%, when I moved out of that apartment, they were in pieces.
Yeah, I'm still killing plants. I'm still trying.
No,
but my husband, he's alive.
I'm right there with you. My girlfriend has a bunch of plants, and I'm letting her take care of them.
I love that. So if somebody, because you coached too also, if somebody came to you, wanted to get sober, what's your best advice? Like, what do you tell people? How do you do it?
You know, maybe it's my biased point of view, but I think people should try and incorporate some sort of movement. I would definitely help them and analyze their diet. I'm doing a lot of like my own research between sugar and alcoholism. I personally have been on the carnivore diet for about, it's probably going on 2 months at this point, and you strictly just eat animal meat, no carbs, no sugar, and I've never felt the strongest in my sobriety since I've been doing this. I mean, it's high in fat, so your mental clarity is completely out of this world because our brain's a fat eating organ, so we have plenty of fat for that to go off of.
So you're
Protein,
just like eating steak and drinking
steak
water.
at least once a day, if not twice. I usually have it for lunch and dinner. A bunch of eggs, a bunch of cheese, raw dairy if I can get it. Like, it's, you essentially eat like
What's
an
raw
ancestor.
dairy?
Raw dairy. So all of our dairy in the store is pasteurized, so it's heated up essentially to kill the bacteria in it, but it's also killing all the good stuff for you. So raw dairy, I just found a place online. It's an Amish farm up in Pennsylvania, and they ship it to you. So it's unpasteurized. It's essentially like straight out of the cow.
So you're just like putting your cup under the cow.
Pretty much. They just put it in the glass
know
for you.
about that.
It makes you feel unbelievable. Like, this is the strongest that I've ever been physically, mentally. I sleep so much better, and I don't have, like, I'm a huge sweet person, and when I eliminated alcohol, I definitely made up for that with sweets at some point, and, you know, it was getting out of hand. If I eat a slice of cake, I'm eating the whole cake.
Right.
So going back to your question, I think I would start helping them just analyze their life routine, and we want to incorporate healthy habits and healthy goals, because like that domino effect that I mentioned before, I think it will just start, you know, one at a time. We need to make little changes so we can make sustainable behaviors. If you try to change everything all at once, like, it's just going to be something that is going to get overwhelming, and we eventually just say screw it, and it's not going to work. So, you know, my program is strictly centered around fitness, nutrition, and personal development. In that personal development, we'll work on building a routine just so we don't have free time on our hands. We don't get hit with boredom, and we want to break all the habits that we were having while we were drinking. We also do some literature studies. We will help, you know, build a higher power connection. But, you know, fitness and nutrition changed my life, and I firmly believe it can change everyone else's. So I will strictly start working one-on-one with people to build that so they can get a strong foundation in their sobriety.
Okay. Is there anything in your sobriety, or is there anything about sobriety that you regret or that you don't like?
No, because I think everything during my whole story from the first time that I drank up until now, I think I learned everything and anything that I need to maintain my sobriety. I mean, even during the relapses, like I had the two major relapses, but even in between then, I had little stints where it's like I need to try and stay dry for a week, and I had mini relapses, and you always just learn something that you can then put into play the next time you try and get sober. So
Mm-hmm.
my journey's my journey. I own it. I'm kind of happy it happened because it's turned me into the person that I am now. And, you know,
Right.
this is the person I ever always wanted to be. I just didn't know how to do it.
Yeah. I think I feel the same way. Like I sometimes I'm just like look around and I'm like, wow, like I actually like the person I am today. And I don't know if I ever even thought that was possible, right? Like I really just didn't ever like me or maybe even know who I was.
I think that's exactly it. Like I thought I knew who I was. I thought I had my future planned, and you know, I had no idea who I was, and everything that I wanted to do, everything that I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
sobriety taught me that. And you know, sobriety made me it made me understand hard work. I mean, it's you have to work at it. You have to work at it every day, and it's the hardest that I've ever worked to get something. And that can play into everything in our life. If it wasn't for sobriety, I wouldn't understand that.
Right. So what does the future look like for you? What do you see happening going forward?
You know, trying to I'm just trying to share my story and just let people know that you're not alone. I knew I wasn't alone when I was drinking, but at the same time, like there's a little bit of a misconception, or you're ashamed or embarrassed that this is what's going on in your life, and it's okay because it happens more often than you think it does, and there's ways to live a fruitful life, and you don't need a substance like that, and it's okay that it happened, but let's get out of it. And I know how good my life is, and it's such a great feeling that I'm trying to share that with everyone that I possibly can and help as many people as I can. I mean, I had plenty of people help me when I was trying to get sober, so I just want to relay that message to people that you're not alone, it's okay, and things do get better. This is possible.
Right. So the last question I have, since you love fitness and nutrition and all of that, a lot of times when we quit drinking, and we touched on this a little bit, a lot of times when we quit drinking, we replace that with food, right? Or we're always craving sugar, we're always eating. A lot of people, their complaint is when they give up alcohol, they're getting fat, right? Like they're gaining weight, they don't like how they look. What what do you say to like how do you combat that? How do you not just pick up food instead?
Right.
Or yeah, how do you not gain
Right.
weight?
Now, it's definitely easy to fill that void with something, and I think food's the most common one because, first off, food's a tricky one because a lot of people, you know, food addiction's a real thing, but like alcohol or other substances, you don't need them in your life. Well, we need food to live. So it's a tricky relationship to try not to overindulge, but at the same time, you still need it to live. So I think getting sober is the perfect opportunity to try to change other healthy ways in your life. That's what I did. It was such a great platform to start working out, to watch what I eat. So
Mhm.
try not to fall into that trap of running to cakes or running to overeating just to make yourself feel happy. Like there's healthier ways to get that endorphin rush. There's healthier ways to get that dopamine hit. And if you're trying to eliminate alcohol, which is such a healthy thing to do, let's try and get that domino effect started.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely I agree. But I do think it's easier said than done, right? Like if you're craving chocolate, what do you do?
It's
What
okay
did you do?
to eat a piece of chocolate. Like I tell people all the time, like we are human, so if you want to eat a cookie, eat a cookie.
Hmm.
There's ways to eat a cookie and still lose weight or still try and get your goals. Like, yeah, eating a cookie might not be the most nutritious thing to do, but we're human, and you know, sometimes you want a scoop of ice cream. I'm a firm believer in tracking my calories, and I think that's a great way to allow yourself to eat cookies and stuff like that, because if you wake up and you want to eat a piece of chocolate cake, you can plug that into your phone and you can eat around that and stay below the calorie line that you need to lose weight, and you're still going to be good.
Right.
It's not,
Right.
I think control is a big thing. Like, now, have a single slice of cake. Don't go and eat the whole cake itself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overindulge. Don't be excessive. I mean, I was a massive excessive person. I still am. That's why I try not to eat it, because I'm guaranteed to eat 15 cookies. So if you can't control it like that, then maybe try and stay away. But if you want a cookie, it's okay to eat a cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think it just comes down to a control thing. Like, and that's with everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. I actually started doing, because carbs are like my favorite thing, and I didn't want to go to like keto, right?
For sure.
But I kind of cut down on my carbs, so I always get like no sugar candy and whatever else. And then I end up just not liking it as much, so I don't eat it all.
No, I completely understand that. I mean,
Not as good.
I tried all the stuff, like the no sugar stuff and the coconut sugar and whatnot, and ever since the carnivore diet's a form of keto, and ever since I've done that, like, my sugar craving, my carb craving has completely, it disappeared. So I'm still trying to do a little more research myself with it, but I'm starting to believe that it's a pretty good diet or a pretty good lifestyle to live as far as food. If you're in sobriety, you're trying to become sober. Like, it's.
And how long have you been eating that way?
About 2 months.
Okay.
Just coming on 2 months, and I mean, it's completely changed my life, and I don't see myself eating a different way.
I mean, I like steak and hamburgers.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, you got to eat so much good food. Like, I eat whole eggs every day, and chunks of cheese, and raw dairy, and grass-fed beef. Like, it's what's that?
We all like cheese, right?
Exactly. So why not eat it? Like, I think people look at cheese and it's like, oh, I can't eat that. It's not on my diet, and it's just not on this one. And it's been awesome.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you want to get to the viewers out there? Anything that you think is important to say?
Just believe in yourself. If you're struggling out there, like, this is possible, and it's literally one day at a time. Don't get fixated on, getting the days under your belt or getting the years under your belt. Like, you can't hit 2 years if you didn't get one day. So just focus on it one at a time. And, my way might be the best way for me, but your way might be a completely different thing. Like, not everybody's way is going to look the same. So don't get caught up in doing it by the book, whatever by the book is. Like, take a step back, see what's good for you, and there's resources out there. Like, just like your coaching business is great for a certain set of people, mine's for a certain set of people. Like, there's resources out there, and we're more than happy to help you get your journey going and get you down the right path that you want to be on. So if people are looking to reach out to me, they can find me at Sober Strength on YouTube, Sober Strength _ on Instagram and TikTok. And, like I said, my plan is strictly centered around fitness, nutrition, and personal development. So if you're looking to work out or getting your eating straight, we'll give you a regimented fitness routine. We'll do coaching, one-on-one coaching. We'll do nutrition coaching. I'll give you a sample meal plan. I like to incorporate recipes. We'll have weekly check-ins, and it's really anything and everything that you need to unlock the power of alcohol abstinence and maintain long-term sobriety.
That's awesome. I really love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm so glad we got to do this.
Yeah, it was really cool. And we got to be on Insta Live, right?
I know. I've never done this before, so this is my first time.
I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.